The Misfit's Crown, Part 3, The Cornerstone. Prison was supposed to be a punishment. Instead, it became a protection. The world thought iron bars would finish grace, but sometimes God removes you from the noise so you can finally hear who you are. The Cornerstone. The iron doors of a prison didn't just lock grace in, it locked the world out. For the first time in her life, there were no stress to navigate and no Mrs. Rebecca to please, no neon light, no survival bargains, no running in the cold, quiet sanctuary of her cell. Grace found a different kind of freedom, silence. And in that silence, she met Christ, not the version she had once tried to bribe with promises, not the God she blamed for abandonment, but a Savior who met her in her lowest place without asking for payment. For the first time, she wasn't called misfit. She wasn't called a street girl. She wasn't called a mistake. She was called a daughter. And that changed everything. She traded her bitterness for a craft. Day after day, she bent over sewing machines and ledgers, learning a trade with a hunger that frightens the other inmates. While others counted days, Grace counted her skills. While others replayed regrets, Grace rewrote her future. She wasn't just learning to sew or sell. She was stitching her dignity back together, one thread at a time. Every seam whispered, "You are not finished." Every completed garment declared, "You still have value." The girl who once sold herself to survive was now building something that could not be bought. When the gate finally opened 2 years later, Grace didn't look back. The city was still loud, still chaotic, still indifferent, but she was no longer a ghost in its shadow. She returned, not as a prey, but as purpose. She started in a small corner, one sewing machine, one rented space, one stubborn belief that her story would not end in disgrace. Years passed. The small corner became a shop. The shop became a brand. The brand became influence. Grace, the girl who was once obtained illegally and discarded like a trash. She was now a boss, a mentor, a woman of means. Young girls who had nowhere to go found work under her roof. Broken women found training. Single mothers found dignity. She was no longer surviving the system. She was disrupting it. But the final act was not about revenge. It was about restoration. She walked back into the life of Mrs. Rebecca, not as a beggar, but as a rightful mother of the boy who had been stolen from her. The family meeting was her stage. The same elders who once whispered, "Misfit," now sat in uncomfortable silence. The same walls that witnessed her humiliation now watched her return, crowned in confidence. Grace stood tall, not loud, not angry, not desperate, just certain. She didn't need their permission to exist anymore. She took her son's hand, steady, unshaken, and walked away from a house built on lies to return to an empire built on truth. Not because she had won, but because she had healed. They called her misfit, but they never saw the cornerstone. They threw her away like rubble, not knowing she would become the foundation. Grace didn't just survive the storm, she rebuilt the house. And this is not just her story. It is for every child who was rejected, every woman who was silenced, every soul who thought prison, physically or emotional, was the end. If this story moved you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Comment your thoughts. Tag someone who needs hope. Follow the journey, because the misfit crown was never decoration, it was destiny. Subscribe to Shakespeare Real Life Stories for more stories like this.